Hello and welcome to this week's Smoking Punch podcast with me, Gareth, and a man who can't get a server cabinet put across in time, Keith.
It's difficult when I'm here. 3 o'clock in the morning. I finished last Sunday. I'm knackered. My first day off was today, and here I am podcasting.
Oh my!
Like a soldier. Yeah,
like a soldier.
Yeah, made it.
Dip you in a fucking runny egg, mate. That's the kind of soldier you'd be. Just saying. Oh dear, right. So how are you, apart from not being able to move a server cabinet in time?
Apart from being entirely zombified and not knowing what bloody day of the week, yeah, I'm pretty good. I know that Squid Games came out on Friday. I'm trying to avoid all spoilers because I haven't watched it yet.
No, same here. I think adverts for Doritos based on Squid Games. But yes, no, you're exactly the same here. It's fucking melting in this part of the country at the moment. I've talked to someone else in another part of the country and like, oh, it's grey and cloudy. I was like, well, fucking sweating my bollocks off here.
It's sweaty here, but it is pissing down. But it's always sweaty here. It's just slightly less sweaty than normal. So, in fact, you're probably warmer than we are right now. That's the difference.
Country doesn't believe in air conditioning as they believe it's a conspiracy created by the Americans.
Sorry, I've got aircon on. I couldn't live without it.
True.
But yeah, I mean, it's 26 here today at the moment because of the rain, so you're probably warmer.
Well, I think it's about 30 at the moment. So we've got some bits to talk about. We have got 4 pieces of news, 3 trailers. We're going to talk about Ironheart, but there's not much we can say about it because we both reached the same conclusion. Spoiler warning, it's fucking boring. And I had trouble getting through it because it was boring. I fell asleep twice whilst watching it, and I wasn't feeling tired at the time. So I might use it as a soporific in future. It's like, wow, this is one person in the UK seems to be rewatching that first episode loads, and it's because it's helping me go to sleep. But we'll get there when we get there. There's lots of other things surrounding that too. We've got the last episode of Star Trek Next Generation to talk about. Mm-hmm. I started watching Countdown on Amazon.
The first episode. Yeah, I watched the first one.
With Jensen Ackles, which I quite liked. And I watched 28 Years Later, and I've got some thoughts about 28 Years Later.
I have seen the live-action remake of How to Train a Dragon, which I want to briefly mention.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll save that for the review part. So, any shadow of a doubt, let's move on to our first story. And I think we will have... Oh, this one.
Say, hold up, wait a minute.
Stop that, dude.
Amazon MGM has officially tapped Denis Villeneuve, the best known for Dune: Arrival and Blade Runner 2049, to helm the next James Bond installment, Bond 26, making the franchise's first under new Amazon-led stewardship. Villeneuve is a self-professed lifelong Bond fan and will direct and executive produce alongside Amy Pascal and David Heyman. I like the fact that self-professed James Bond fan. The question is he? Hopefully, he'll respect the source material. And we'll get something good out of him. It'll look fantastic. Cinematography is going to be spot on. That's one thing.
I mean, look, Denny. I mean, look, they haven't cast a director; they've hired a director.
Yeah.
Right. That I mean, we've got to first. Let's put that out there. They have hired a really good director. I mean, as you put it when I messaged you this the other day, you know, if we couldn't get Nolan, this is probably the best runner-up, and I think I agree with that. Did Denis Villeneuve do some things in June 2 that I really didn't like? Yeah. Basically with the modern day bullshit. It was light, but it was there at the end, which annoyed me because it shouldn't have ended like that. Otherwise, it was a good film. But I think he can make a Bond film. That's what I'm saying. I mean, cinematography-wise, I think he can make a Bond film.
Yeah, definitely.
It depends on who they get to write this. It depends on whether they say fuck it slightly, because there are so many people out there that just want to see a Bond film, and I mean a proper Bond film. And you can absolutely do that in the modern age. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But I have to say, this does open up a little bit of light at the, a little bit of light. It shines a small light. It's more hope than we had a few weeks ago.
Yes, definitely. They were looking at some other ones. They were looking at Edgar Wright, Jonathan Nolan, Peter King. I've no idea Peter King, and Edward Berger. So yes. Sorry, I just saw something in the chat. We'll bring it up when we get to the chat part of this thing. So yeah, it's interesting because it's I think he can do it. I'll just hope that sorry, helicopter going over. If you can hear it.
I can hear you very well. So
okay, cool. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm hoping that he's got Dune Messiah. This is the next Dune film, and then he should be able to concentrate on Bond after that, and then we should start hearing things. So when you hear that Dune Messiah's wrapped up, we'll start hearing casting bits in regards to who's this, that, and the other. I've got some money on Rebecca Ferguson being in the next James Bond film.
You might not be wrong, actually, and casting her could work.
Just saying.
I mean, you could put Sydney Sweeney in there as well. But I mean, that's the other thing. If they've hired Villeneuve, right? I mean, he's meant to be shooting Dune Messiah over the summer, which is now, but they haven't started shooting yet. We're looking at 2027 before a Bond film is out. Probably, probably Christmas 2027.
So yeah, that's what we've got in my notes here. It says Bond's 26 is pushed likely to 2027 production. Expect careful coordination. So I'm thinking if they've got the production company together, they must have a script. If they've approached him as director, they've got to have a script. Because if they want to get it done and out in a reasonable time, they've got to start booking locations and movie studios, sets, and all that crap. So casting, we should start hearing casting. But as I said, it'll be after Dune Messiah. So that will probably hit casting, September? October?
Without going into the review part on 28 Days Later, having watched 28 Days Later, can What's-His-Face play Bond? Because he's one of the ones in the running. He can play Bond. I think
28 years later, it's not quite the stage, shall we say, for a James Bond-esque kind of thing.
But you can get from him whether because you've watched him on the screen. Do you think he can play Bond? I think he can. Aaron Taylor, isn't that his name?
Yeah, Aaron Taylor.
Yeah.
Aaron Johnson Taylor.
Yeah. I absolutely do think he can play Bond. I mean, I always, wanted to see Henry Cavill do it, but I don't know if he will. Although I think if Henry Cavill did do it, he would be an amazing ambassador for it.
Yes, definitely.
But I'm not sure he will. We'll see what happens. But I think they're going to have to announce the Bond, even if we are waiting until 2027. I think they have to announce it this year. But it's just whether Denis Villeneuve decides to. I mean, they're going to be shooting June for a good 4 months. You would have thought.
And there's all the post-production stuff too. But saying that, Denis Villeneuve is one of those guys who actually plans out his films and pre-visualizes all his films, so it goes a lot smoother. And whether you like Ridley Scott or not, he does exactly the same. And that's why Ridley Scott can seem to pump out things a lot quicker than, say, fucking Marvel. So yeah.
I mean, I am happy about this, but it does mean that we're not going to get a Bond for a while. But then maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think things are beginning to change in Hollywood, and hopefully by that point we can actually get a decent Bond film without, people worrying about silly bullshit.
Or trying to pander to an imaginary audience that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, on that note,
it's a good hire. It's a good hire.
It's a good hire. And with that note, let's move on to our next story.
All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
Do you know, I've used that line so many times recently with in F1 forums because of the fucking god-awful Max Verstappen fans. I use that. It's only two things I can't stand. I love that line. Anyway.
MobLand, Paramount Plus's gritty London crime saga from creator Ronan Bennett and Jez Butterworth, has earned a fast-track renewal. The streamer announced on the 23rd of June that Season 2 is officially greenlit after Season 1 amassed over 26 million global views and claimed the number 2 spot amongst Paramount Plus's originals behind Landman. Armed with powerhouse performances from Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren, the show ended up on its first knife edge, literally, making the promise of what comes next impossible to ignore. Fucking love MobLand. MobLand was great.
Look, I mean, this is the... I don't get... Right, I do, but I don't get how Paramount Plus is losing money, right? Especially when they've got shows like 1923, Yellowstone, and things like that are popular. Landman, fucking great show. You should watch that. MobLand, fucking awesome show. Right?
Yeah.
Let's just sort out fucking Star Trek, you bastards, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But MobLand was awesome. I mean, it was really good. Hardy was great in it. Fucking Pierce Brosnan was great in it. Helen Mirren was the bitch from hell, and that she was utterly brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, utterly brilliant in that role.
That little shit Eddie.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good actor. He fucking sold that role. I mean,
yes.
No, they were all good. It was a really, really good show. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's fucking awesome.
No. One thing which we don't hear from, say, Disney, they told us the viewers.
Yes.
They said, hey, 26 million viewers worldwide. Paramount Plus, not one of the top tier streamers either.
No.
That's a lot of viewers for that platform. I don't know how many, what do you call it? How many people are subscribed to Paramount Plus? I'm going to quickly check Google.
I mean, the thing is, right, a lot of the other shows on Paramount are pretty good. As I said, Landman is really fucking good. Yellowstone has a following, as does 1923 and 1880s, which are all part of the same world. Have quite a big following. I don't get what they're doing.
It's well. Let's look at one thing. They gave what's his mush J.J. Abrams fucking $500 million to produce one TV show that they were so fucking disgusted with. They gave to Amazon, and he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. And I'm just staggered by that. So I just did a quick thing here, and it's the viewership is the people who subscribe to it. It's 77 million subscribers.
So that is, give or take, a third of your subscribership. Watch this. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid.
That's a good show.
I mean, I'm not surprised that this has got a second season. It was genuinely, it was good. It was a good story. It was gritty. It was hard. There was none of this modern day bullshit. It was made. It was made for its audience, and we liked it. We lapped it up.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood, pay attention. Although I have to say Landman is equally as good.
And don't forget you've got Tulsa King too on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Which is fucking great.
Well, it's the same person that makes Tulsa King that makes Landman. So, again, I mean, I can't wait for the second season of Landman. Season 1 was fucking good. Along with this, I really enjoyed Landman and I really enjoyed this. So, not surprised that they're the two top series. This was awesome. I fucking love Tom Hardy and I loved him in this. And I love the ending of the first season. So, I can't complain. They nailed the landing. They landed it. They landed the first season.
It's
where it goes in the second season, I do not know, because they're going to have to make it quick, because like their lead bad guy won't be available for much longer. So because the bad guy, or who the the woman in this, that's McGonagall. What the fuck?
Why did you give yourself a thumbs up?
I didn't.
Keith?
It's automatic. Apple picks it up.
When you say McGonagall,
it does it on my it's a Mac thing. When reactions are on, I can make it rain. I didn't click on anything. It just
make it rain.
Randomly. Oh, you want me to make it rain? Hang on then.
Come on, make it rain.
I can probably make it rain. Can I make it rain? There you go. I can have fireworks as well. You want to see some fireworks? Woo! This is great for the podcast.
He wonders
people,
why it's the people listening. Yeah, they're gonna love that.
Yeah, they're gonna love it, Gareth.
MobLand, absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Highly fucking recommended TV show to watch. It's if you like gangster things, I always find British gangsters. Is that the Scorsese? I can't even say that. Scorsese, or British gangster films. They're the ones that only work for me. I can't. There are a few other American ones that come across, but they're like rare. It's never consistent. So, yeah.
Yep.
Not on that note. I think it's time we moved on to our next story. We'll have
Now, we off.
Okay. So, crikey. Mark Hamill has publicly dismissed any notion of tensions with director Rian Johnson, emphatically stating there is no beef and praising Star Wars like Last Jedi as a great movie. Whilst he acknowledged the creative differences over Luke Skywalker's unexpected arc, Hamill clarified that those disagreements were strictly professional and not personal, and that he and quotes here, would do everything within my power to make Johnson's screenplay work. No one likes The Last Jedi. No one likes it. The people who say they like it, they don't like it. Yeah? Daisy Ridley doesn't like it because that's the fattest she's appeared in any of those films. So she doesn't like it. Mark Hamill doesn't like it because it finished off Luke Skywalker. Bortzi's Mush. Oscar Isaacs didn't like it. Oh, God. John Boyega didn't like it because they ruined his fucking character. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And then they continued to ruin his character in the fail of Skywalker. No one likes it. It's funny. I always find it quite funny because we look at that film and we say, shit, we do not blame any of the actors for it.
No.
It's so strange. Like when Phantom Menace came out, there's lots of hate towards Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Arbery, who played Jar Jar Binks. But we don't hate any. I find that really strange because I look at that film and go, I don't blame the actors for anything. And it's great when you see their reactions to things where it's like kind of, oh, what did you think of it? And like, yeah, it was great. Yeah. And he's like,
I agree with you. Carry on. Sorry.
It's so strange, but I'm going to be honest with you. Mark Hamill's a massive fucking dick. Yeah, he's a dick. There's some personal things that he's done which are not quite honourable, shall we say. And the only thing that was really keeping him in public favour may be the fact that he did disagree with Rian Johnson, and he did turn around and say that. What he should have turned around and says, I disagreed with him, but we were professional all the way through. And if he'd left it at that, we'd have gone okay. But at the moment, it looks like he's, how can I put it? licking the bottom of the Hollywood authorities to get more work.
Well, this is it. You see, because a couple of weeks ago there was a story that he was done playing Luke Skywalker, or done doing anything playing Luke Skywalker, and I think that's the studio saying he's done. And now he's come out and said this. You know, grow a pair, stick to your guns, right? They totally and utterly ballsed up that trilogy. They did, right? Rian Johnson was totally the wrong director for this. He did what he wanted to do. I mean, fucking Second World War style bombers in space to bomb a bloody court. Don't even get me. Don't even get me started. And that's only the beginning. Then trying to, you know, there's just numerous things about that film. It's a terrible film. From a Star Wars perspective. Is it a well-made film? Yeah, if you're looking at it objectively, if you're not looking at it through the lenses of a Star Wars fan, potentially there are things that were good about it. But as a Star Wars fan, you pissed all over Luke Skywalker. You destroyed him. And there was no respect there.
It wasn't just that. It was the fact that he ruined a trilogy and ended it on film 2.
Yeah,
that was the bit that got me, because you needed to leave Snoke in there. His death was supposed to be. Andy Serkis was like, kind of, oh, you're killing Snoke off. Okay. All right, that's it. And if you watch Andy Serkis when he talks about it, it's like, yeah, they're killing Snoke off, and he's got this look of perplexity in his face because he's like, kind of, oh, hang on a second, no, I'm supposed to be the bad guy, I'm supposed to be like the Emperor, sort of thing. It's annoying because I looked at that, and they could have gone down the Plagueis route, yeah, and started off the beginning of Rise of Skywalker and literally had Snoke pull himself out of a fucking cloning tank, yeah, going, get me the head of Kylo Ren. That would have been a brilliant fucking opening, because all of a sudden you got the First Order fighting each other, yeah, and then you got the good guys who got the chance to fight back because they've been decimated. There was an opportunity there. No, couldn't do that. Somehow Palpatine returned. What the fuck?
I mean, the interesting thing is, right, Rian Johnson pissed a lot of people off making this movie, right? And you know this because what's he done since? Knives Out on Netflix. Hasn't had another cinematic release, right? He once famously called Mary Sue a sexist comment. Moron. I mean, he was arrogant. He tried to do what so many people have done when they get a franchise movie with a loyal fan base. They've done the same thing with Doctor Who, right? And what happens when they imprint their own wants onto a movie without any consideration or respect to the characters? What happens? Viewership goes down, right? It's happened with Doctor Who, and it happened with this. That's why the final Star Wars movie did not make as much money as this. It is a incredibly decisive movie. You either love it or you hate it, right? And that is not what you do when you make a Star Wars film. Every point in this, they failed.
The other thing too is it kind of, there were certain things you could have done to make it good. Yeah, like for example, the First Order. You could have explained that the First Order's job was they were supposed to go out into the uncharted territories and expand the Empire into the uncharted territories there, because that was the First Order, expand the Empire. Yeah, and they went off and expanded the Empire. They turned around, came back, and found out everyone fucking had been overthrown. Yeah, it's like 20 years later, and you've had people who have been generationally raised under the Empire. You could have done stuff like that. Yeah. No, you can't do that. You could have had it so Snoke was Plagueis. No, you couldn't do that. You had, and I'm just like, he killed off Snoke, who was probably the interesting thing about the fucking, what do you call it, Force Awakens. Who is this fucker? Is he Plagueis? Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, the fact that, you know, you never put all three of them on screen, which isn't his fault. I mean, you know, that's
Abrams' fault.
But Abrams had a treatment for 3 movies, right? Rian Johnson comes in, throws it completely out, right? Then everybody goes absolutely apeshit at this movie, so they bring J.J. Abrams back in, who ignores this film, right? And then brings back his own fucking... It is... And please... And this is why Kathleen Kennedy, right, people have a go at her. If you did this in a business, you'd be fired. So God knows how she's still in her job. Rian Johnson not making movies, cinematic releases. No fucking serious studio seems to want to hire him. Why? Because he pissed off a lot of people. But Hollywood never, ever, ever admits to failure. They will never, ever admit it. They will come out with some other bullshit. It's what's going on with Doctor Who at the moment. Russell T Davies can't fucking admit that he completely balls it up. So he just keeps, perpetuating a lie. And this is exactly what happened here. As a Star Wars fan, this was terrible. As a Star Wars fan, this took a shit all over one of the heroes from my childhood. And it did. I mean, him drinking that fucking milk out of a cow's tit. What the fuck was that?
See, the other thing too was, I was expecting it to have. This is what I wanted from the film. I wanted Rey to become the bad guy, and Finn to redeem her.
Yes.
And Finn to be fucking force sensitive too. Yeah? That's why he picked up the lightsaber and could hold his own for a minute, shall we say, against Kylo Ren.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. He redeems her at the end, yeah? The guy who's been brought up to be a killer all of his life, indoctrinated and thinking. It would also explain his turn too. Yeah? Because all of a sudden he's exposed to another Force user somewhere who isn't evil. Yeah? And then the fact that things came easy and quick to her too is the path of the dark side. No, we can't do that. And I would have loved that. That would have been great. If it would have been Rey kills Snoke and Kylo Ren, and she goes, you know what? I'm going to be in fucking charge. And then Finn's like, no. They have a fight, and he doesn't kill her, but he saves. Oh, well, I don't know. It's too far gone now. The more I think about it, the more it pisses me off because there's so much wasted potential. Yeah. And the thing with the 3 people on screen, that was wasted too. Even if it didn't have fucking... JJ could have done it in a fucking flashback. Could have done it in a flashback.
I mean, wasn't the fake killing of Chewie, was that in this movie? And her using entire force to prevent... Was that in this one, or was that... I can't even remember.
The Force Awakens, that was.
Oh, was it?
Right, so the other one is the one where it's a fucking hold-on maneuver, yeah? Now, I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Daft.
I'm a nerd, and I know the following, yeah? In Star Wars, the ships drop into hyperspace and then travel at the speed of light in hyperspace. That's why they can travel faster than the fucking ships in Star Trek. Because they go into hyperspace and then they travel at the speed of light inside hyperspace. Which allows them to go great distances really quickly. Yeah? No, yes. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Well, no, because then we'll go back to the bombers in space. And dropping bombs that go down onto the ship. Gravity. No, don't get me. Don't. Move on.
Do you know what the worst thing is? All they had to do was put a little animation of it going. Psst.
Yes.
Psst. That's it.
Yes.
Just a little animation. Psst.
Not boo, like they're over fucking 1940s Germany. Go.
Do you know the funny? Hang on a second. Real fighter planes, when they jettison thingies, have this little hammer thing that fires, hits the bottom of it to launch it clear of the aircraft before it arms. In real life, we've got that shit, but they couldn't do it then.
Don't. Just don't.
Put a ticket in and make a name again.
John Bernthal is set to reprise his role as Frank Castle, the Punisher, in Spider-Man Brand New Day. His first appearance in the Sony/Spider-Man film universe. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, Shang-Chi. The movie reunites Bernthal with Tom Holland after early collaboration on Pilgrimage, and brings the intense vigilante to the cinemas on July 2026, following his return in Daredevil Born Again and an upcoming Punisher special on Disney+. I think we're getting Kingpin.
Yeah.
I think we're getting Kingpin. And if they're clever, what they'll do, yeah, is there'll be the parallels between how Peter Parker deals with criminals and how Punisher deals with criminals, and Peter Parker trying desperately not to fucking kill anyone. That's going to be it. He's going to be pushed to a limit. And the only person who could really do that was Green Goblin, and they've already done that. So the next person on that list is the Kingpin. Seriously. And I think
he's mayor of New York,
that might work.
So
he's still going to be mayor of New York.
Well, yeah, because the way Daredevil Series 1 ends, he's, no one... I mean, I still think the crushing of that head scene in the last Daredevil episode was pointless and stupid. The thing about the Kingpin was in the comics, it was implied that he did shit like that, but you never saw it. When you show it, right, that's a lack of imagination. Right? Everybody bangs on about that scene in Daredevil. It bothers me hugely because you should never see it. You should see him being violent, but you shouldn't see that. Like when he beats the shit out of Vanessa's lover, that's kind of fine, but you shouldn't see too much of it.
It's the head in the door in the first season of Daredevil. You don't see that. You know he's crushed the fucking guy's head in the car door. You don't need to see it. And the worst thing is not seeing it makes it more violent because your brain fills in all the gaps. And it's weird because if they put the Punisher in there, you're going to have, if they do it right, and this is a hard job to do right, you've got the serious tone and you've got Spider-Man's comedic kind of quick quippedness, yeah? If quippedness is a word, if not, I've invented it and I'm claiming it. And it's going to be, they can tonally do that, and they can try, if they do it right, they can amp it up in places, so it'd be quite funny, and then it'll go dark and serious, and then it'll reach a climax, and then go through there if they do it right. It's set to film in 2025, so this year.
I think the Kingpin will be in it, but I usually do this the thing, but I'm gonna bring up this comment. You see, your brother says it's the best scene in Marvel. That's the reason they did it, right? They didn't do it to serve the story. They did it because of that reaction.
Oh, hang on. It doesn't. And we might be talking about a car door.
No, we're talking about the Kingpin. Because
the Kingpin car door or the Kingpin head crush. Duncan, please elaborate.
Kingpin head crush.
Duncan, just.
The car door was different. Because again, I really didn't like it. I disagreed with it. And it wasn't the shock. It was more.
I would prefer if he, because I think in the Netflix one, he gets into a fight. It might be with the Punisher, and he becomes like a fucking gorilla.
Yes.
And he looks scary as fuck. And Vincent D'Onofrio has a great thing of it being scary as all hell. And he's like beating down on him like a motherfucking gorilla. The downside is that Vincent D'Onofrio has lost some weight, so I might put some padding on there.
The thing is, I never got that from him in this. In the Dare. I mean, I agree with you that Daredevil season 1 was bad. But I think they could put the Kingpin.
Daredevil season 1. No, Daredevil Reborn Again was bad.
Yes, that's what I mean. Season 1 on Disney. Not Netflix.
Netflix. That makes Netflix one look fucking like beautiful.
But John, I mean, Spider-Man putting the Kingpin in, putting the Punisher in, yeah, it makes sense. Which means we'll probably get Matt Murdock again because that's.
I'm hoping. What I want, is that it's gonna be Spider-Man stopping crime, Punisher stopping crime. Then they meet. They get into a fight. They'll find out the Kingpin's been causing it. It will get towards the end. He'll try to prevent Punisher from killing him. And at the last moment, fucking Daredevil steps in and sorts it out. That would be great. Because, one, it's brought it back down to fucking street level. Spider-Man's supposed to save the city. Yeah? He doesn't save the planet. He doesn't save the universe. Doesn't save the solar system, etc. Saves the city. Yeah? That already sounds good to me. Sony have put it on the right level for that. And that's a good thing. But Punisher in there, there's opportunity. There's opportunity there, which is going to be good. Right. So let's.
I've got to refer.
No, wait. Wait, we'll get to that because before we get to the trailers, now we can go through the comments. We're going to be polite about this. God, fucking hell, Duncan.
Oh, I'm polite.
Steve gets the gold star for being in first. Well done, Steve. You get gold this week. Biffa. We've got thoughts on it. We'll come back to that. It's the Ironheart series. That's that. Hang on a second, Keith. Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
And you beat you beat Chuckin. Just to confirm, yes. F1. I'm watching it on Tuesday evening in the cinema. One, because it's supposed to be a really hot day here in the UK, and sitting in an air conditioning room for 2 hours is going to be fantastic. And two, we'll probably talk about it next week because Keith, I imagine, can you watch it over?
I was going to see it today, and I'm probably going to take a day off next week and go and watch it this week.
Okay, cool.
I do want to see it.
And there's Chuck. Hi, Chuck. Was chatting politics with a dear friend. Fun because we're aligned. Left that door coming in here though. Good. Not too political. We can talk politics, but me and Keith have had very heated fucking conversations about politics. I mean, really, really heated conversations in person. I'll be honest with you. Over video, we're a lot more polite with each other. In person, we're yelling shit. Apple's auto thumb up. Lol, iOS fail. Hang on a second. Oh.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. I saw it earlier.
I think he's winding us up. I can understand about the filming
I
locations
can understand that
and the
bit.
productions. I can understand about the filming
understand that
locations
bit.
and those bits, yeah.
It was
That's
a cool
fine.
location, which makes me even more pissed off because the location was cool.
Yeah. The Red Guard did look cool.
Yeah.
But the fight scene was fucking terrible because you could see them missing. But they did look cool.
There were bits in that fight scene that were pretty good. When she drops the lightsaber and then catches it and sweep. That bit was kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a great cut scene that they cut. Sorry, a scene that was cut from it where Finn and Captain Phasma go at it. And they cut that out. And that was a really good scene. And it made Phasma a character first, because it's like kind of, are you going to tell him or am I going to tell him that you're the prick who load the shields on Starkiller base and got most of their mates killed, yeah? Yeah. That could have done that. I like the idea of him redeeming her more, but yeah, we could have had. There could have been a romance between. It could have been fucking anything, really. To be honest with you, colonoscopy. I always make the joke. Colonoscopy was more interesting. Kylo Ren became a soy boy. I would have said incel, emotionally crippled person. Han Solo's death was so weak. Yeah, Han Solo's death was weak. And I think, Duncan, Michael Mando is reprising his role as a Scorpion, but I don't think it's one of the main roles inside the thingy. I think he's going to be... that sounds awful, because I like Michael Mando as an actor, and having him push the henchman kind of status, but a good one. So, hang on a second. This is we're talking about the Kingpin head crush scene. Yeah. I think it looked a bit shit. That was the first thing. I think it looked a bit shit.
I think it was shit. I think it was done for shock value, right? And I think the Kingpin is scarier when, as you said, when it's in your head. Like, when you see those bits of violence in the Netflix, you never saw him doing anything like that in the Netflix, but you were fucking frightened of him, right? I don't know, I didn't like the scene. I thought it was a bit rubbish.
I think what would have worked better is if he would have punched him, knocked him to the ground, and just stomped on him.
Yes, and if he'd done it off camera. right?
Oh no, because you can do it when they're not show it. You can show it from his angle. You can show it from the
I
poor
think
fucker's
when
angle.
you
That would
have
have
to
been really
show-
gruesome.
I think when you have to show gore like that, it depends on the situation. If you're going for a horror movie, or it's a particularly gore-fested series, it makes sense. But this wasn't that. It was none of that. So again, your brain fills in the gaps. And sometimes doing stuff off camera, just if you'd not seen him do it, he would be more threatening.
Okay.
It's a psychological thing.
No.
Yeah. But you see that it's a different series. The Punisher is a gory character and was in the comics was a +18 comic most of the time anyway. So the difference is that the Punisher was created for that, and you expect the Punisher to do that, and you don't ever find the Punisher as intimidating as the Kingpin, because the Kingpin's sheer size and strength. So seeing him shooting people, that's the thing. Look, I disagree with you on this, but I agree with you on a lot of things. I just disagree on this. But I don't think it needed to. I think it was done for the wrong reasons. But hey, I love Punisher season 1. I quite like season 2, if I remember rightly.
I only liked the Pilgrim part of season 2. Everything else was a bit wank.
Was it? I can't remember it now.
The Pilgrim was the bad guy chasing him down, but they kind of had mutual respect for each other. And yeah, it's a bit where he's chasing him in the car and it's playing fucking Marilyn Manson as he's opening up with a fucking Mac 10. That was cool. There's Angel. Hi, Angel. Yeah, we're playing Repo on Friday and I drank a whole bottle of red wine. I have no idea how fucking loud I was. I had no hangover the next day, which is fantastic, which I absolutely adored, which was really good. And now let's turn the music down. I think I might have had that a bit too loud. Okay.
Are we doing trailers?
We're doing trailers. We've got 3 trailers. So I need to pop a marker
one of those
in there.
you sent me, didn't you? Yes, this one.
Yes. Okay. Right. Let's look at the Fantastic Four trailer. The final Fantastic Four trailer before it gets released next month. Oh, hold on to your hats.
Famous around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch,
I love you, Johnny.
and The Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here, Ben. Hold on! Are we safe?
I don't know. The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him?
I like that. The 4 of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
So, some good bits and some bad bits in that trailer. Yeah. So, given the rumours that it turns into Surprise Woman at the end, with a team up between the Silver Smurfette and Sue Storm taking out Galactus, with the help of Baby thingy. It's right. So that's I like the kind of the kind of Americana kind of thing that they've done here, where it kind of feels very 50-ish. That's good. I like that, where they got the watches and you kind of get their intros and this, that, and the other. And then the clobbering time thing's quite good. And then when we get to, I think it's when the Silver Surfer turns up, and her line, it has no fucking gravity in it. There is no gravity in it. You compare her to Lawrence Fishburne from the early 2000s, and Lawrence Fishburne, when he said Galactus is coming, you're like, oh, he's fucked. Yeah? The line is not... It's not right.
Are you saying that because you know because it's the MCU?
No, the line's not delivered very well. So it's like, why in a second? I just
Beginning. I herald your end.
Listen. The noise isn't. It's not. It sounds like a fucking wasp.
I actually did find that. I did react that way.
I herald Galactus.
But it's not.
I don't think it has the gravitas that potentially it would have been had they cast the proper Silver Surfer. Again, there is no reason not to do what's his face Rand, and but this is Hollywood at the moment,
and this line from I fucking hate Pedro Pascal. He's going to be one of those people who gets branded a fucking Hollywood creeps.
But you hate Pedro Pascal because of what he's saying outside.
Oh no, it's all the stories that are coming out behind his thing about him stealing his. I know. And I'm like, oh my god, he's going to be branded a Hollywood creep like fucking Harvey Weinstein. Just you wait. But it's this line here too.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
Reed Richards wouldn't do that. Reed Richards would. It would be. He would say, I don't know, but we're going to sort it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reed Richards is that. I'm the fucking smartest person in the room, and I know I need to not cause you to panic because I'm that fucking smart. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I just say?
Go on.
This we 100% agree on.
Yes.
And for podcast listeners, Duncan in the chat said we need more Jessica Alba, or need some Jessica Alba. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, we need some Jessica Alba on that. So that line, I don't like that because Reed Richards would know that would panic people. He'd know that would worry people. Yeah. That's something he would say behind closed doors to Sue. That's the kind of relationship they'd have, and he's not that dumb enough to do that in front of the fucking press. Don't like that. That's out of character.
You see, I look at this as a trailer. I think the trailer's pretty good, right? Take everything out, take everything aside, right? The problem is, this is what I've been saying to you for donkey's ages about these actors that go on and say stupid shit. Right, and it destroys the character. They fail at their jobs. It happened, I brought this up when that whole thing about Wicked happened. That silly cow went off on one. It destroyed, it tarnished her role, right? And Pedro Pascal keeps opening his fucking dumbass mouth. And you don't see Reed Richards, you see Pedro Pascal, which is not the job of an actor. Yeah. These idiot actors need to shut the fuck up. Your job is make-believe, not modern-day politics. Shut the fuck up.
If you want to become a politician, do what Arnold Schwarzenegger did. Run for governor or local councillor or something. Yeah.
That's when you can start talking and having opinions, right? Yeah. But not when you're paid. mega amounts of money to do a job which you are not doing.
Which also includes marketing it.
Yes.
So you got that there, and then put the baby there.
We are going to find a solution.
See, he's supposed to be like kind of contemplative in the thing in like the background. Where is it? Oh, did I go past it? There. Car's cool.
Yeah.
I like the car.
Yeah.
I like that's quite a cool shot.
I like the aesthetics.
The next one,
I think the aesthetics are great. I think the uniforms are great. I love that scene with yeah.
Why has he got a beard?
Well, he's channeling.
He doesn't grow hair. He does not grow hair. He cannot grow a beard. That's a beard. That's a fucking beard.
I'm not sure that's a beard.
Look again.
Oh shit, it is a beard. You're right. What the fuck?
Why the fuck has he got a beard?
I don't know. I never noticed that. That's a fucking good point. It is a beard. Who knows?
He's got a beard, and I like that.
Maybe it's but maybe he's done that, right? Because part of his character, even in the comics, was he always had a problem with looking like a rock, right? So maybe I bet you in the movie he's fashioned a beard because he has a problem with his appearance. That's totally within character.
Well, yeah, but no, it looks shite.
But it's within
I like
character.
this, him smashing through the columns to knock a building down. Reed Richards' torch. I'm hoping, there's rumours that they've refilmed the ending. Yeah?
Yes.
I'm hoping if they do it right, it's going to be the four of them working together to take down Galactus.
Well,
maybe with the help of Silver Surfer.
Unsurprisingly, the ending has not landed. And when you start hearing these rumours, they're true.
Yeah.
And yes, they have done. I've heard this, that they've refilmed the ending because they've gone, partly because the new Avengers, or Thunderbolts, whatever you want to call it, was such a big flop. They really have to land this. And they're not, because they hired Pedro Pascal, which was the biggest.
Yeah.
The rest of the cast.
David Tennant,
absolutely fine. David Tennant would have been much better.
He's got his politics don't agree with mine, but he would have kept his fucking gob shut at least during most of this.
Yeah,
because he did when he did the Doctor Who thing, and then when it was over, he opened up his fucking trap, and you went, oh god, shut the fuck up. But he would have done it for the film at least. I like the way that it's like integrated with the universe and the actual genuine like heroes and stuff. That's cool. That's good. I like that. There's a lot to like in that, but there's a lot of kind of bits that make you go, yeah, a bit worried there. I'm hoping they've refilmed the ending. So yes, I think it's going to go for the summer, for July. It's going to go Jurassic Park, Superman, Fantastic Four, in order of box office. And the only reason that Jurassic Park is going to get to number one is Scarlett Johansson in the tight top, sweating in the jungle. That's 80 million of box office just then.
Dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs, because kids love dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs.
So you've got Scarlett Johansson for dinosaurs.
Yeah. You can see this. Right, darling, don't worry. I'm taking the kids to the cinema today. We're going to go see Jurassic Park. The fucking kids will love it.
Yeah. Dad, why are you staring at the screen and dribbling? Nothing. That's what I think. Wait, it worked for fucking Jason Momoa in the first Aquaman. It really did. The mums were like, he's rather nice.
How many times did Dexter see it?
Kids. We don't want to see it. No, I only saw it once. But it's you don't think that they're a big pull, the mums and the dads, but they are a big pull because they'll drag the kids out with them. So I think that, Dinosaurs, Jurassic Park's a pretty safe bet. Plus you've got Scarlett Johansson, tight, sweaty top in the jungle. It's going to make money. So we've got another trailer here. Do you want to do the Superman trailer and then do the Toxic Avenger trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me
I
do
haven't
the
seen the
Superman
Toxic trailer, so let's do the Superman trailer.
The Superman trailer. Okay, let's do the Superman trailer. Because I've seen some clips of Superman. Let's pop that on full screen. All right, let's do Superman trailer.
Gareth, you need to show the trailer.
Yeah, sorry, I started watching it and I was like, oh, okay. I'm sitting there and mentally making notes in my head and let's go again.
Superman. Power like his doesn't belong to anyone.
The world doesn't need a perfect man. It just needs someone who won't give up on it. That's why I do what I do.
You don't have to prove anything, Clark. Just be who you are.
Superman, I'll destroy you.
Superman. Holy shit.
We have to stop Lex.
Ready?
Let's do it.
I actually haven't seen this
Everyone has
trailer.
a
This is a
weakness,
different one to the one I saw the other day.
I'm just figuring out yours. Got it.
Hey, loser.
You're a loser.
You were out there helping them?
This world gave me everything, and I won't let it fall.
You keep getting all these interviews with Superman.
They chose him. Let them die.
I don't fight for power. I fight for people.
I like that more than the Fantastic Four trailer. My problem is I'm going to watch the film. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to come out the film and go, I enjoyed the film, but I don't think it's a Superman film. That's what I think. That's what I really think my opinion is going to be. I'm going to come out and going to watch that film, enjoyed it. I don't think that was Superman though. That's what I feel.
Is that a fake trailer, or is that real? The Supernova one.
Supernova one.
Because is that what they're calling it?
Supernova? Where?
Well, in your you've got Godzilla X-Con Supernova new. Is that what is that? Is that real, or is
we'll
it
watch
fake?
that in a second. We'll watch that in a second. I have no idea. I have no idea. But just going back here, just to go through this one, I think whatever his name is, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
Yes.
I think they've actually done that. I've seen. Have you seen the scene with the dog, where he's asking where the dog is?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Is it?
He kind of I'll see if I can find the scene with the dog. But yeah, but
I think Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is going to be fucking great.
Yeah. Is that Ultraman or is that someone else? Because if it's Ultraman, we've gone straight into the fucking multiple dimension stuff. Yeah, which might be the case. So, got this bit. Daily Planet looks good. Knocking over buildings and he's trying to hold them up. He's knocked them down like. What do you call it? What do you call it? I kind of like. I'm not too sure. As I said, I want to watch this and go, I like the film, but I didn't think it. So this is the interdimensional prison we got. I was going to say the absorbing man, but it's not. It's Metamorpho.
Yes.
And we come back here and we've got Ultraman. And is that Ultraman or is that a Kryptonian or something's not right there? I need to figure that out. The other thing too is I think that when Lex Luthor breaks into the Fortress of Solitude, he figures out how to make the Superman bots. And when he's at the end and he's lasering a load of people, it's a load of Superman evil bot things. Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific's a weird one for me because it's like I want to take him seriously, but he's kind of just like a bit of tea across his face. Apart from that he's going to be the one who helps maybe Luthor and then turns to help him at the end.
She was quite well cast as Lois.
I have to see a bit more.
I haven't watched a lot of her, and trust she's Lois.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, so this is where I think he breaks into the thing, and I think this is where he steals a load of like tech from him. So I think personally, he goes in there, breaks in there, and he figures out how to get into Phantom Zone and whatnot. And then is that John? Is it John Henry, the Iron guy?
Yes.
I can't remember his name. I'm not a DC aficionado, so you have to excuse me. But and it's like him getting shit from his co-workers. Where was that's part of the dog scene? If I can find the dog scene. But yeah, it's. I think that might be the Phantom Zone.
I don't know if they're doing the Phantom Zone or not. But it could be.
Yeah. Because if it's an extra-dimensional prison in DC, the only extra-dimensional prison in DC that I know of is the Phantom Zone.
Well, no, there's the one that we had in what's his face's dad, the Peacemaker's dad made.
No, that was like that was his though, and that's where he kept his shit. So I don't know.
You never know. Lex could have one as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Superman, whether it's Superman, that's the bit I'm gonna want. If it makes me go, this is Superman. See, that looks like a guy in a stooge here. Yeah, we got to figure out how this works. So I think
there's a lot of characters
on
in this. So who knows?
Shall we look at the Godzilla trailer?
I'm not sure if it's real.
2027 trailer.
Fan made.
It's fan made. Okay. Okay, I think I actually pulled up the fan made trailer for this one. My bad. I think we just glued a load of stuff together from other bits to make an extra long trailer. Still good.
It was a good trailer. Right, what have we got? Have we got
oh, hang on. Sorry, I want to look at this. Alien Earth.
We've watched it.
We'll go to Toxic Avenger in a moment. Let's watch this.
We watched it. We did it.
No, this is from a day ago.
Ship collected 5 different life forms. Monsters.
I want what's on that ship.
Mr. Sandler.
Invasive species. Predatory.
Bring me a drink.
We don't lock them down. It will be too late.
There's a price. Do you know what it is? Save yourself.
Boo. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works. That's I'm looking forward to that.
Right. What we got? The Toxic Avenger.
Yes, the Toxic Avenger starring Peter. I don't think dwarfs should be in fucking Snow White Dinklage. What a bellend.
I didn't know that. Even better.
Did you not know that? That's why they replaced him with CGI, because he complained. So he fucked over his fellow dwarfs in Hollywood. The one gig that they thought they could have. And no, but I watched the Toxic Avenger recently. So
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay? We'd lost Shelley a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
Looks great.
I'll just scrape off the black part. That part's pretty good.
Now give him back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't you do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing. It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation would
Like Kevin
knowingly
Bacon?
poison its own customers
Yes.
just to boost their own profit margins?
Summon the nuts.
analyze your wood.
Summoning the nuts.
The nuts.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad.
What the?
I wasn't even involved. But sometimes you gotta do something.
For the listeners, tiny Toxic Avenger just ripped a man's arm off.
How does it feel to be a hero?
Do you realize what's at stake here?
Everything!
Find him, bring him here.
There you are.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say, self-defense,
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though.
Toxic Avenger.
The kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Yeah, I like the look of it. It's a B movie. It's purposefully a B movie, and it looks great.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that trailer. That's quite funny, even though it does star Peter bloody Dinklage. Who, another actor that should keep his mouth shut.
So other people can get work. It's as I said, I watched the original one, and Lloyd Kaufman, and I can't remember the guy he works with. It reminds me of Mel Brooks. He reminds me of Mel Brooks, how can I put, less successful half brother. One of the things he came up with was Toxic Avenger, sorry, and I remember him appearing on Saturday morning kids TV to promote the Toxic Avenger cartoon, and it was such a fucking piss take. He got a Donatello Turtles figure and a Toxic Avenger sticker and just stuck it over the head. Goes, yeah, Toxic Avenger, and he was holding up Toxic Avengers coming soon to going live or whatever it was at the time. And yeah, I watched it, and it was funny as long as it's just completely fucking outlandish. It'll be good. Something I can just go and watch. I've got cinema pass. I want to try and get the most out of it as possible, and I think that'll be I think it'll be interesting to watch that. So it's gonna be good. But yeah, it's cool. So I'm just gonna have a look. What I want is just gonna have a look at some of the comments. I popped to, where is it? So I put a thing in there saying Mark to say when the comments started. Now I can't find it. Oh, where is it? So yeah, Jessica Alba, blah blah blah. Loved. So there you go. Tannis like kind of. Oh, I love Jurassic Park. No matter who's in it. So that's what's going to sell. And Tannis says even my mum says it isn't Superman. Duncan says it is Ultraman. Kevin or Kelvin? Kelvin. What's that? Keith, what's that reference to? I don't know. Scariest alien ever, Kevin or Kelvin? Shit, I'm my geek credentials.
I know, because I should know that, and I do, but I just can't place it. That name does. It's not. You're gonna have to explain that one, Steve, and I'm gonna be really embarrassed when you do, because I'm gonna be like, I know it.
Okay. I say I enjoy Jurassic Park movies. Chuck maybe not as much. Yeah. Sci-fi with dinosaurs really gets into my head in a bad way. Time traveling lizards. Is that what it gets you? That's always when I go sci-fi. I always think time traveling lizards rather than recreating them. But yeah. God. And that's in regard to Alien Earth. I hope it's good. And then we got Kevin Bacon in a Toxic Avenger. If you like silly, gory, stupid films, I think it's gonna work out well. Duncan says you can watch this. And we've got Toxic Avenger for the win. And then we've got late summer B movie. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. My favourite late summer movie is still Summer Rental. Yes, still. And not sci-fi, just John Candy. No, that's fine. We can all do that. And Duncan's making a comment like, it should be a non-serious movie. Cult-like. Yeah, I think it's going to be like Hobo with a Shotgun. Oh, now I get it. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that. Star Trek, Kelvin, Alien. Anyway.
Right, so what are we reviewing?
So, I watched 28 Years Later. We also both watched the first episode of Thing. It's good, but it's not the film that you expect, and it has the most jarring ending I've ever seen to a film. It was so jarring, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So
why is it
jarring? Let me spoil the whole film for you, because I don't think it's the kind of film for everyone. So it's a reverse Last of Us is the first thing. Yeah, instead of a dad taking his surrogate daughter across the country to seek help, it's a boy taking his mum across the country to seek help. So that's the actual premise of the story. The first 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, they set up the world, do a fucking great job. Yeah, you've got these people, they live on Holy Island or Holly Island, and it has a natural land bridge. So at low tide you can walk to it, and at high tide you can't go anywhere near the thing, which is fantastic. So people can go out and come back in, but they need to make sure they get the timing right and everything. So you get to see the island, you get to see the fact that they've set things out, they've given people jobs. The society is trying to balance themselves out. They're away from the mainland as much as possible. They have to go out and do some foraging, have to go out and do some hunting, and you've got the kid who's a great actor, and I cannot remember his bloody name. Him and Aaron Taylor Johnson, for the start of the film, go out for his first hunt. Yeah, now he's supposed to do it at like 14, 15, etc., but he's doing it at 12 because his dad believes that he's ready for him. So take him out into the world, and you see that nature's overrun quite a few things. There are herds of deer because the deer population has been unchecked, and then you've got the new types of zombies. So you got the classic, then zombies, a new type of rage things. You got the crawlers, yeah. So these are fat, slow zombies who literally will eat anything on the ground, yeah. And his job is to take it out with a bow and arrow to start with. So he does that, bump, almost gets ambushed by one, but his dad's paying attention. And then they see some runners and stuff, and then they see what they refer to as an alpha. An alpha can, how can I put it, direct the runners at things. And they see an alpha and they hide in the house for a day to try and get away from the thing because they need it to fuck off. Anyway, goes up, that happens, goes back, and his mum is sick. Yeah, and sorry, he goes there, and while they're waiting for the alphas, the kid spots a fire in the distance. Yeah, and he goes, "What's the fire in the distance?" And he went, "Don't worry about the fire in the distance. That's, I can't remember that person's name. It's like dangerous over there." Yeah, and he explains how when he went out first time, he saw this guy, and he is literally just stacking up bodies and making sculptures out of their bones.
Oh, nuts then.
So he's like, okay, fuck. So anyway, they go back to the mainland, and he explains that he was a former GP, and the GP is a doctor. And he went, okay. And he said, yeah, so he does that. They have a big party and whatnot, and he starts thinking, and he sees his dad cheat on his mum, who's really ill, and she's like losing it. The problem is she's losing it, and it's not like she's got the virus or anything like that. So he decides to take his mum to go and see the GP, because they said there's a GP. GPs were doctors back in the day, and they could help fix things. And he thinks, I can get mum out, and he'll fix her. Anyway, gets out, heads towards the doctor and whatnot. And then while that's happening, there's an explanation that the island's cordoned off by the NATO and whatnot. The world's carried on as far as we're concerned. and some Swedes land on the shore, and they get attacked by the Alpha and the runners. And the Alpha just likes grabbing heads and just ripping them clean off the body. You can be alive and squealing as you're doing it, but and he's doing that, and one of them manages to escape, and they head towards our old Happy Eater, and they get ambushed by a load of runners, and the surviving Swedish soldier, manages to fend them off by setting fire to like the petrol and stuff in there. He explains the world. There's some great conversation, missed opportunity there. Anyway, he gets killed off by an Alpha, and they rescue a baby, because apparently if you've got the raised virus in you and you're pregnant, because the placenta filters a load of stuff out, it stops the virus from getting into baby's bloodstream. So they rescue, they help one of the rage victims give birth. The mum has like a moment of clarity. She helps the thing give birth, and then it turns on her, and the Swedish soldier shoots them, and then the Samson, who's the big fucking Alpha, starts hunting them down. Anyway, they get to the Swedish guy gets killed, and they meet the doctor, and the doctor is Sinister, played by Ralph Fiennes, and he kind of explains. He goes, "Your mum's got cancer," and goes, and the reason she's as bad as she is because it's spread to her brain. And he explains to the kid. He goes, "Look, there are good deaths and bad deaths, yeah." And he doses the kid up, and he turns around and goes, "We're going to give your mum a good death because there's no way we can treat this." So takes her off and euthanizes her. And the kid goes back with the baby, puts it back at the what do you call it, the settlement, and then he fucks off. And he says, "I'll be back when I'm ready." He leaves a note with the baby saying, "I'll be back when you're ready to look after the baby. It's important." He named her Isla after the same name as his mother, so it's like kind of a replacement for her. Then the really jarring bit happens, because it gets to the end, and you've gone through all this, and they've travelled through the cities and bits and whatnot, and it has a certain tone to it. It's quite a serious, heavy tone. The world around it's very scary. It's not as densely populated in 28 Days Later or 28 Weeks Later, but they're still out there, and they still cause trouble. And if you get spotted by an Alpha, you've got to be well, stocked up to either take it down or hide away from it. And it gets to the end, and the kid's at this, it's kind of like a valley thing, and he's cooked a fish, and he's eating the fish, and he looks down the road, and he sees two runners, and he's like, fuck. So he gets his arrow out, kills one of the runners, misses the second one, picks his shit up as much as he can, starts running down the road. The runner goes for the food first rather than him, and then he gets to the end of this bit where it's all looked like someone's purposefully caused a landslide, to be greeted by the actor who was from SAS Rogue Heroes, played Paddy in that. I can't remember the actor's name. Dressed, and I'm not joking, as Jimmy Savile, calling himself Jimmy, and he's on with a golf club, and he's got a set of people, and they're in various colours, Teletubby colours, and they beat the remaining zombies to death whilst a heavy rendition of the Teletubbies theme tune plays.
Okay, because I know they've already shot the next one. It comes out next year.
At the end of this year, I think.
I think there is a second part to this.
Yep.
Because Cillian Murphy's in the second part, apparently.
Yes.
He's not in the first movie, is he? He's not in this.
No, he's not in the first movie. It's all about the Jimmies, the next one. So there was an explanation from the writer Alex Garland and from Danny Boyle. It goes, in this world, everything ended before we could find out Jimmy Savile was one of the worst people in fucking existence. Yeah?
Yeah.
So from the kid's perspective, because he grew up through the apocalypse. So from his perspective, Jimmy Savile was this person who could fix it. Yeah? So he's modelled himself after that, and it just gives such... And it's so fucking jarring. I walked out the cinema and I'm like, oh, that's really sad. The whole thing with the mum and the boy and that whole journey. But my brain just went, Jimmy fucking Savile? What the fuck? Which is supposed to set up the next thing. So you're supposed to see the settlements and how people have dealt with dealing with the apocalypse and this, that, and the other. And there were some great comments when the Swedish guy shows a picture of his girlfriend and she's got the duck lips. And he says, "What's wrong with?" The first thing he says is, "What's wrong with her face?" There's a girl like that in the thing. If she eats shellfish, her face just swells up. Is she all right like that? Because it's like kind of beauty's kind of societal thing, yeah. And yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. It's a film. It's not for everyone. It's quite grim, I think, just in overall tone. But I have to see the second one now to find out what the fuck's going on with Jimmy Savile.
So was 28 Days Later. That was great.
But 28 Days Later was grim, but at the same time too, it was a lot more. It had your heart pumping a lot harder.
Yes.
Yeah, there were many shit your pants moments in it. There weren't as many shit your pants moments in this. They set it up to feel like it. They also set it up to. They were at the beginning. They do the boots thing from the trailer. That's actually in the film. Yeah, the boots thing. Yeah, and the way they set it up is you get the impression where the guy's taking the baby. Yeah, the infected will want the baby back, and they're going to fight the people in the settlement to get the baby back. That's the kind of impression it gave, but never went there. And given the fact that it's supposed to be 3 films, I'm hoping it pays off, because if it doesn't pay off, it's a damn squib. Yeah? And but the Jimmy Savile bit, and I'm not fucking joking. I'm really not joking. It was like, oh, this is like a reverse Last of Us. Okay, cool. This makes sense. I'm getting the vibes and stuff and that, and there's some bits in there that are a bit on the grim side which I don't agree with, but we went that way, and it's like, this is an interesting universe. There's more to explore here, but yeah, Jimmy fucking Savile. I did not see that coming. There's not many times you can really surprise me in a film, but I did not see that coming, especially when the heavy metal version of Teletubbies tune as it was happening.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
What did you watch, Keith?
Well, I watched How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, I mean, the movie's doing really well, right? Because, okay. I mean, okay, so as a remake goes, right, it is mostly faithful to the cartoon in terms of story.
Yeah.
I still prefer the cartoon, but I have to admit, when he first gets on Toothless and starts flying, the live action adds to that bit, and there are other moments where seeing it in live action was really cool. Here, and the fact is that we had, and this is where I. Even the bloody Phantom Menace, even they pussied away from saying this, and I don't quite know why, because they've done DEI or whatever it's fucking called in this, and they actually have an explanation in the story, right? So this is where it changes to the thing. There's like, Burke is now a collection of the hardest people from tribes all around the world, that have come here to converge on this area to fight the dragon threat, which is why you've suddenly got, Tandy Newton's daughter as, in the role, and you've got that fat kid from the New Zealand kid that was really annoying in, what was the film? Deadpool 2. And basically, it's a way of describing that we're not going to do Vikings. We can't do blonde, Vikings, because that would be problematic apparently in Hollywood. And it's just like, okay, they explain it, but why did you need to do it? Why does every fucking film in Hollywood have to do this? Why couldn't you just have Vikings? You did it in the cartoon. No one batted an eyelid. Why couldn't you have done that in the live action film? You see, I mean, and the thing is, like, the kid, like the lad that plays Hiccup, fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Tandy Newton's daughter can't fucking act, and she comes across as, you know, just an obnoxious bitch most of the time, and there is absolutely zero chemistry between the two of them. Whereas, you know, in the cartoon, right, the voices together, there's chemistry. And I mean, I know a cartoon's different, but there is zero chemistry between them. That being said, the dragons are fantastic, right? It keeps to the story. The last act is awesome. What's his face? Bringing back Gerard Butler as the dad was great. Was really, really good, and he looks great in the role. And again, you know, and the final part again, the final the bit after they fight the big dragon is, you know, scene for scene the same as the ending of the cartoon.
Yeah.
And again, seeing it in live action just adds to it. They're not going to be able to do that with the second one. The second one, which is largely everybody's favourite of the three, they're going to have to change quite drastically. But it's like, why was it there? You decide to do this casting for no real reason other than you want to pat yourselves on your back. Then you explain it in the story. But actually, it didn't need to happen. Why couldn't we just have a Viking village? Why couldn't we just have Vikings like the cartoon? Why?
Yeah, why? I know. It's one of the things. It's funny because, like, kind of, you talk about the fandom menace, or what they call them. I don't agree with much of what they say. There's a YouTuber called Mr. H Reviews.
Yes.
And I tend to find that my opinions align more with his than anyone else on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's a big Aliens and Predator fan. Oh, who'd think? Yeah. Who'd think such a thing? But Tanith wants to see How to Train Your Dragon. I'm not sure when it's on here.
And you should go and see it.
Take her.
And you should go and see it. The kid is brilliant, right? And the scenes when it's him and Hiccup, they are really, really good, right? And it is faithful. You see, How to Train the Dragon is it is one of my favourite cartoons, and I think you probably know why. But and I loved all three of them. I love the music. I love Toothless as a character. I love it, right? And when it is just him and Toothless, right, it nails it. And the bit, you know, and it goes beat for beat from the cartoon. And there are moments when the live action version adds to that, right? I still don't think we needed a live action version, but admittedly, where they chose to film, you know, the scenes when he's on the back of Toothless, when he's flying with Toothless, and they stretch out the build up to him, you know, so basically learning how and coming to that, and that is all really, really good, right? But you know, the two annoying twins, right? You've got the Thing guy who's played by he's played a load of gay characters, and he's quite good, right? But then his sister, who's meant to be really annoying, is this giant fat ginger cow. There's no other way to put it, right? And again, it is like, it takes you out. If you're going to do a remake and you're going to be this faithful, why did we need DEI? Why didn't you just do like for like? It would have been better, right? It would have been better. You know, the casting of she's not good, and you'll get it, but don't go and watch it, because there are moments that are really, really good. And if you like the cartoon, the bits with Hiccup and Toothless, they're really good. The final act is really, really good. And I did enjoy it because I love the music and I love the story and I love Toothless, and seeing Toothless in live action was, you know, and the fact that he looks like Toothless in the cartoon, it works. It absolutely does work. Nick Frost is okay in it. I actually prefer. Nick Frost is okay in it, right? His relationship, you know, but I do like, because it was, the voice is the guy that used to do that. He was the Scottish comedian guy that flirted with all of his female guests on American late night TV before James, what's his fuck, took over.
Yeah.
And I his voice was always good. But look, if you liked the cartoon, you will like this. It is a faithful remake. They haven't like rammed any sort of, other than doing this stupid DI thing, right? It's not rammed down your neck or anything. And there is an explanation for it in the story. So if you're going to do it, right, at least there's an explanation there that, thematically makes sense.
Look,
you didn't need to do it.
No.
We don't need it in every film.
No, I don't know why. Think about Vikings and they did something with the Vikings TV show, didn't they, too, where they put a black woman in charge of Vikings. It was like...
I mean, Burke was a Viking village. Burke, all the kids were blonde, with the exception of Hiccup. That's why Hiccup was different, right? And that's why they did it. And now, you've got the kid from New Zealand who is actually a good actor, but just doesn't get a chance to act in this. But look, the dragons are the star of the show, and the dragons are fantastic, right? And they've done an amazing job with them in live action. They really have. And Hiccup is, Toothless is Toothless, and for that alone, it's worth seeing. So yeah, go and see it.
Let's talk about something we're not so passionate about now.
What's that?
Marvel's Ironheart. I thought this was going to be a total fucking train wreck, and we'd have lots to talk about. But it's done has the worst crime of any entertaining product. It's fucking boring. I fell asleep. Yeah? I fell asleep watching it. Yeah? And my wife was like, can we put signs on? Yeah, sure, quick. I can't remember what we were watching. Oh, Harper's Island. Yeah, put Harper's Island on. I'll watch that instead. The actress who plays Riri Williams does not work. She's got RBF, a chip on her. The character comes across as having a chip on her shoulder, and it's not in a good way. Pardon?
That's stereotyped. They've stereotyped.
That is a stereotype.
It's the typical, black woman with an attitude. And but in this, they've just made her unlikable.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the first 15 minutes and I went, it's not egregious. It's just boring. It's not. It's stereotyped. I honestly actually really don't understand, and this is why they're just making it for clicks, right? Gary earlier at Nerderotic put a video out on my channel's getting attacked. Attacked for what? Shut up, man.
Oh no, that's the
that is a
quartering
clickbait
joke.
bullshit. And
it's a running joke from the quartering. That's what that is. He goes, every year you're supposed to put out my channel's under attack video because that's what he's done for the last 5 years. Yeah, okay. And then you just do it with red eyes, and you've never heard that one.
No.
Okay, that's
so
last time I think he did it was it is a joke.
But they are
last time he did it was for thingy. What's it?
Was it Acolyte?
Last time, no, Blue Beetle. Last time he did it.
I don't understand. I mean, it's just another shitty Marvel show that was made 3 years ago and should never have been released.
The first thing is the character is not a fucking hero. It's not a hero. This is weird because I would have written the character like this. Yeah, I would have written her as she's like this geek. But she kind of keeps it quiet because she lives in an area where that's not quite socially acceptable. So she'd be like kind of a friend would like do a Lord of the Rings reference and she'd go, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Or a Star Trek reference or something along those lines. Yeah. So she's got that geeky bit in there. And it's a case of, well, if, Tony Stark built a thing in a cave full of scraps, I should be able to do the same thing too. She's getting kicked out of university, if I remember correctly, for destroying a metric ton of equipment. Oh, yeah. My work health and safety brain went off. There's a bit in a lift, if you know anything about what I do for a living. There's a bit in a lift where she pulls out a live wire, with her fucking mouth. I'm sorry. We would sack you for that.
It's just. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but it's like, I mean, they paid Robert Downey Jr. apparently $1 million to do that promotion video. Apparently, that's the rumor. Really? I don't know why they released this. I mean, you know, she wasn't particularly likable in Wakanda Forever. If you even like that movie, which I didn't, for numerous reasons.
Well, Black Panther without Black Panther.
Yeah, it was. I you know, in the first Black Panther movie, it works. You know, the sister's all right. In the second movie, it's terrible. But anyway,
do you know what I find really obnoxious is the fact that Black Panther in fucking Civil War is the best fucking character in the entire thing, but never doesn't come across. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't get why Marvel released this. You could have written it off. You could have done what they did with Batgirl, Batwoman, or whatever it was, and just written it off on tax and just never released it. Right? Yeah, but this would have been admitting failure, and now you've got another Marvel. I mean, I do not get why they keep doing this. You know, and when they do release something good, they don't capitalize on it. This is Disney. This is Paramount was potentially with the same with Star Trek. I don't get it. I do not understand why this is out. There's lots of people getting very upset about it. I don't find it egregious. I just find it shit.
Yeah. I think that it's if you look at it a lot, you probably can find it egregious, yeah, but it is ultimately boring. That's its biggest crime.
I understand why some people. If this was released 3 years ago, it would be egregious. But we've had Echo, we've had, The Acolyte, we've had all of these shitty shows, right? So now it's just boring because it's just like that would have pissed me off 4 years ago, but now I'm just bored of it because it's the same shit. It's woman with attitude, unlikable woman with attitude that we're meant to like, and being better at everything than men, and still being a complete bitch. But you're not allowed to say that because you're meant to like her, because apparently that's how all women behave in Hollywood, and I think that's true, right?
I'm going to replace that.
They write what they know.
No. I think it's how all the daughters of Hollywood execs and actors behave. I don't think that's how all women behave.
Well, no, there's probably some truth in that because, again, one of my students has, I'll tell you about that. But you know what I mean? She's a bitch. She's not likable.
She's a bitch, and she doesn't soften. And they don't do things like say, hey, she goes around and fixes the neighbour's washing machine and TV, computer, all those things, and mobile phones, yeah? The old lady who doesn't know how things operate, yeah? They haven't got something like that in there. It's not difficult to write. I would have, as I said, I would have written her as a closeted geek, yeah? Who knows all the stuff but doesn't want to tell everyone she knows all the stuff because she knows that she gets shit, yeah? I would have had it so an AI friend who... There's a sister who died. Yeah, she'd known that she was a closeted geek, and she'd have watched the things with her, and then they would have made. You could have, but yet no, you missed opportunities there because people who are like that, who are into engineering and whatnot, do have levels of geekiness about them. Full stop. Yeah.
But you get the. I mean, it just. I'm infuriated now, but it's not. I'm not infuriated at this. I am infuriated at the fact that the studios are just rinse and repeat. And they're not learning from their mistakes. She says so much. She's Van Wilder of MIT, 6 years and still no degree. Yeah, but that's because she's just obnoxious, and you're meant to believe that she has some kind of the intelligence that what's his face had, and Tony Stark, and you just don't buy any of it. And it's the same shit. It's the Marvel of 3 years ago. Girl boss, obnoxious, unlikable that you're meant to like. And it's boring because we've already seen this.
Yeah.
And we've seen it repeatedly.
And I bet you, if I go and watch the last episode, she'll be exactly the same character.
Yeah.
All right, let's park it here because I don't think there's much more to say about it. It's annoying because what's his mush? Borat. What's his name? Sacha Baron Cohen's supposed to be Mephisto in it.
Yes, I know.
And I couldn't even get to that bit.
This.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's talk about the last Star Trek Next Generation episode, two-parter. All good things. I was going to say parting of the ways then. All good things. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but I really enjoyed it. And I've watched... It was really funny because I watched... one of my criticisms about Star Trek is because they have to do the reset for every episode so you can have network TV. The characters don't progress as much. And I watched like the making of or behind the scenes of All Good Things with Jonathan Frakes, and it was like kind of, he goes, yeah, Data's come a long way. He goes, he was this kind of naive thing, and he's kind of learned how more people have come across. He goes, and then he turns around, he goes, oh, Councillor Troy, yeah, she's had many costumes. I was like, that's not character development. And Riker grew a beard, and this is Rick Berman talking. I'm pissing myself laughing because I think it's hilarious. But coming back to the episode, it's what's his name? Jean-Luc Picard's got von Neumann's disease. What's the bloody thing he's got? It's got the brain thing. It's basically space dementia.
Yeah.
And in the good old days, you remember the good old days where anything weird and space shit was tachyons. Do you remember that? It was always tachyons. Faster than light particles. Any weird shit going down, it's tachyon. Now it's quantum something. Yeah, we've got a quantum disturbance, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's tachyons with a few gravitons thrown in for a good measure. And it's weird because Q turns up towards the end of the first part, and it's like kind of, no, humanity's still on trial and you're still going through the trial process of this, that, and the other. It goes, it was 7 years. Because 7 years for you is like kind of what, a bathroom break for me. Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool. And then he's like kind of, are you responsible for this? No. Because you sending me back and forward through time? Yep. And it's like kind of, you need to fix this. And I look at it and it's like, hang on a second, Q, you fucking caused this shit. If you weren't sending him back and forward through time, none of this would have happened. So the big spatial wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing, it's Devron, whatever it was.
He hints at the end. He says the continuum. Put you through this. Q himself helps him. That's Q helping him.
Yeah, but
Q,
if he didn't help him, it would not happen. If you remove that back and forth from the time thing, it would not have happened.
But the Q continuum wanted him to see if he could think, the way he did. It was interesting. I actually really did like this. I'd forgotten this is where the Daystrom... it's funny how the fucking what's-his-face has gone through and pulled out all, one-liners. And this is obviously where they... what did they do? You can tell, right? What did what's-his-face do when he made Picard? He watched the last episode of Next Gen. And, Daystrom instruments... that must have been something throughout the whole of Star Trek. No, it's like, when did I hear about the Daystrom? It's in the final episode of Next Gen, right?
Oh, no, there are two other references to Daystrom Institute. There's some more. There are definitely more episodes.
But they turned it into this super sinister thing.
Oh, it was never. No, it was never a secret
season 1 and 2. But then, thank God in season 3 of Picard, you got somebody that actually likes Trek and made it something a bit more cool. They call that the Daystrom Station though in Picard season 3. It's not the Institute; it's the station. But I mean, All Good Things was great. I mean, the scene with Data at Cambridge was funny. The Enterprise with the third nacelle, kind of cool.
Right. Okay. No. Nerd. My nerd. It's because the nacelles are supposed to be level with each other. Yeah. And it was one of the things that they said with the Defiant. I remember more Deep Space Nine than Next Generation, because they said it with the Defiant, because it was, if you look at the Defiant, it has that little bit where it's just like that, so they can be level with each other, so that the warp fields can work.
I like, though, in Picard Season 3, they kept the daughters, but they got rid of the son.
Oh, fuck, yes, they did!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! He's got 3 daughters and his son's just... Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that because he mentions the son. And actually, Geordie in this is nicer than Geordie in Picard Season 3. I didn't really like Geordie in Picard Season 3. If I'm going to be critical of anything, it was Geordie.
Yeah.
I didn't, all the other characters were really like, but Geordie was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But Picard, it was good. It was, again, if you're gonna, you end it with Q. If you're gonna, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was gonna enjoy it. I'd forgotten about Data with the white hair, and that was funny. And I'd forgotten about the short-lived Troy and Worf thing, which was like, why?
One thing I have to say, when you look at character development, the 2 characters that developed the most in Star Trek Next Generation were Data and Worf.
True.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Riker, right? That's the thing. I need to... So, who was it? The Picard maneuver. You know what the Picard maneuver is?
Yes.
What's the Picard maneuver?
Isn't that the one he does in where he warps it and moves the...
No,
yeah.
No, that's not the Picard maneuver. The Picard maneuver is when you sit down, you pull your top down.
Oh,
that's Picard maneuver. And the other one I like is the Riker maneuver, is where you step over the chair to sit on it. You don't pull it out and turn it around and sit down. Those 2 ones there. So, yeah, the Daystar instrument, Measure of a Man. It was mentioned in the Measure of a Man.
Yeah.
Because that's where they wanted to. That's the things there. Data Law, the Law episode.
Yes.
But yeah, and there's also the original series, because it was named after Richard Dayton from the M5, and I think bloody Steve beat me to it.
Yeah,
M5.
Fair enough, Steve.
The M5.
Fair enough.
So Steve, because that's who it's named after. So yeah, it's.
I enjoyed it. It was a good final. It was better than the Enterprise final. Not
the Enterprise
good as the
final.
Deep Space Nine final.
Was the penultimate episode was the final,
Yeah.
and they just tacked on that.
Not as good as the Deep Space Nine final. But we are now on to Deep Space Nine, so we have to go back because, funny enough, we're going to get Picard.
Yeah, we're going to get Picard. It's funny because we're going to what do you call it? Because we're not going to do it chronologically. We're going to do Deep Space Nine, then Voyager, then Enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
are we going to do Enterprise? Because like the entire full season of Enterprise is like 2-parters.
Oh yeah. There's some great 2-parters in the last season of Enterprise.
Yes, there are. There's some really bad ones. The Vulcan ones annoy. Because of the guy.
I'm trying to find the first 2-parter because the Emissary doesn't really count as 2-parter.
It is. Come on, we got to do the MS3. It's the opener. We did the opener to Next Gen. We did Farpoint. Okay. So we've got to do MS3.
Yeah, but that was a 2-parter. That was actual 2-parter.
So was Emissary.
Okay. All right. We'll do Emissary. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that. I'm trying to find the next ones on there because I know, because since season 3 kicks off, that's when all the good shit happens in Deep Space Nine. Season 3 is where it's at.
Season 4.
Season 3. No, season 3 is the kickoff. Seriously, season 4, Where the Warrior.
That's not where Wolf turns up. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know.
Where the Warrior, and they get the Defiant, and well, they've had the Defiant before.
Yeah.
But that's when the Defiant comes into its own. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So we've got that to look forward to. Yeah, it's I like Deep Space Nine. I'm looking forward to that. I also keep getting clips of the Omega Directive and Voyager, which was another good one.
I will try and do F1. We didn't get time to talk about that show on Amazon, but I'll watch another episode.
Oh, yeah. No, yes, that's true.
I'll watch another episode of it because there's a couple of episodes, and I'll try and do Squid. I've got to watch Squid Games this week because there's going to be spoilers.
So I'm planning on watching F1 on Tuesday. The reason is it's hot in the UK, and I get to sit in an air-conditioned room for 2 hours.
I'm going to try and see it probably Wednesday. And Yeah, I'm going to go and see it probably on Wednesday, and I'll probably love it because I'm a huge F1 fan. I'm not looking for a great story. I'm just looking for like fast cars. So yeah, what was I doing? Perfect timing today. You came on just as the Grand Prix in Austria ended, so I won't spoil it this time because I think Steve watched it. Somebody watches it, and I spoiled it last time. So if you have not seen the Grand Prix, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But yes, I'm going to go see F1. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Although it'll be on Apple TV in a couple of months, won't it? So it's an Apple movie. So yeah.
Okay.
Right. Anywho's, yeah, I think it's been a long one. So
yeah, it's been long. Well, we weren't here last week, so always is a long one when we've been away for a week.
So yes. Yeah. So we'll see you next week. Tatty bye.
Yeah, it's goodbye from him. It's goodbye from me, and we will see you next week. Say something interesting, Keith.